Completing your return in Tax360 SecureDrop. When the preparer has finished completing your tax return, they'll send you a message letting you know that there's an update. So once again, you'll have an email that says you have a message. You can use that message link to bring you back to the login page. You can enter the username and password to bring us in. Okay. You can see Files is lit up. We have a new file. We start on the message page because we were linking from a message link, and it says the return is ready for review. If it looks good, please use the electronic signature doc to sign the return. So we're going to go over to our files, and in our From Preparer, we can now see there is the tax return. So here is my tax return. You can see it has my name on it, it has the year, and that it is the tax documents. If I was filing more than 1 year of taxes, I could see the other documents with other dates on there. So now I'm going to go ahead, and we want to download this document. So this download arrow here, we're going to download it, and then I'm going to open it. This is where I'm going to want to review this very carefully because I want to make sure everything is correct. So I'm going to double check my filing status, which is single for me. I want to double check that my name is correct. First and last name, everything is spelled correctly, that my social security number is correct, that my dependent is listed correctly with their full name and social security number and relationship. I can see my income from W-2s and my interest income. You want to double check that all of this income is captured correctly, that you have the correct deductions and any credits that you qualified for. The withholdings from W-2s and 1099-Rs is correct. Any other credits to give either the total refund or an amount due based on your tax circumstances. You're going to want to double check that bank information is right if you are having direct deposit. If you are splitting your refund between 2 accounts, or if you owe money and are having direct debit, this will not show up here, but you will be able to see it on another page. This will include all of the tax documents that go into making your tax return. Here's the electronic signature form. Here is the consent form stating that we are going to be electronically filing the return. Here's an account transaction summary. So if you have either direct deposit or direct debit, it will also show on here for the name of the bank, your routing number, and your account number, and then the total from both federal and any states that you would be receiving as a net deposit. If you were having direct debit, that would also show on here. Then you will also have any of your state returns that you have filed. It's going to have all the same demographic information as the federal. So all of this should be the same as the top of the federal return. Then you're going to have your state income and tax, any state refund that you are receiving or amount that might be due, as well as the bank information there as well. So it's very important that you double check all of this to make sure everything is correct. We do not want to make any mistakes here. If everything looks good, you're going to be ready to the next step. If you have any concerns about any of this, if you think perhaps there is a mistake, then you want to go ahead and message your preparer. So you could go back to Messenger and say, my bank account is wrong. The last 2 numbers should be 45. That's fine. Then they can change it and upload a new copy of your return for you to review. But everything looks good to me. This looks great, so I am ready for this to be filed. So my next step was to use the electronic signature document to sign the return. So I'm going to go back to Files, and here is that electronic signature document. So I'm going to go ahead and download that, and I'm going to open it. And we can see this is a hyperlink for me to use. So I'm going to click on this link, and it's going to take me to this electronic form. Okay. Remember, you must thoroughly review your tax return before completing this form, because this form lets the preparer know that they should send your return in to the IRS and states. So this says, by signing this document, I acknowledge I have received an electronic copy of the completed returns. I have reviewed that return, and the information matches what I provided the preparer. I have received and reviewed Form 8879, the e-file signature authorization, and Omaha EITC's consent and disclosure form as part of the tax return documents. So those were some of those documents that we saw in the middle between the federal and state documents. I understand that my information is kept confidential and only non-identifying information is used in required reports. That means that there is nothing confidential or identifying that will ever be shared. I understand that if I have questions about the return, they should be resolved prior to submitting this document, that I am responsible for my tax return, and agree to have my return electronically filed by the Omaha EITC Coalition, and that if I am filing jointly, both the taxpayer, that's the first person listed on the return, and the spouse, that's the second person listed on the return, must both review all documents and both must sign this form. So the taxpayer, the first person, I'm going to enter my name, and I'm going to enter an email. Okay. And then I need to do my signature. Now, if you have a touch screen, if you're doing this on your phone or a tablet that has a touch screen, you can go ahead and use your finger to do this, or a stylus. Otherwise, you can use the mouse. You can see I am really bad at using the mouse, but that's okay. None of these actually look like somebody's real signature. Anyway, now, if I thought that was just too terrible, I could clear it out and try it again. Then the next section is for the spouse who would have to sign. There is no spouse on my return, so I can leave that blank. And then I'm going to do today's date. There's a little calendar button I can push, and I can just select today's date so it will fill it in for me. And then I hit submit. It lets me know that's gone on through. Now the preparer will receive that, and they will go ahead and electronically file the return. Then they will send you a message letting you know that your return went through successfully. If there is any problem with your return being accepted by the IRS, they will send you a message and let you know how to resolve any of those issues or what the next step may be. But otherwise, when it's been successfully filed with the IRS, the preparer will message you to let you know it's been accepted. Your tax filing is complete. You don't have to worry about anything else this year. You can log on to your Tax360 SecureDrop account at any time in order to get a copy of your return. That will not get deleted out of the system. So if in a few months you realize you still need a copy for something, you can't find where you downloaded it, you can go ahead and download it there again and print it out for your own records. And that will finish your process with Tax360 SecureDrop.